And we're going live to Facebook land. Feel free to share away during the call today. So, creating, we're talking about, it's creating with spaces for the, I'm going to say, for the future you desire. Because you know me, I like to change things up as they go along. So, hello everyone. I am so grateful that we are all here from all over the universe, and I am just wanting to say my name is Lisa Benitz, the Space Whisperer and founder of Creating Conscious Spaces. And it's so funny, I'm chatting to my team the other day, and I acknowledged that I had been doing these free Zoom calls for Portuguese, for Dutch, for French, for German, and all of a sudden I went, you know, I wonder what this would create if I just spoke in English. And so it's kind of funny because I keep waiting to stop so that any of the translators can translate. And I'm going, wait a minute, I can actually have this conversation with all of you in English. So, first of all, everywhere that you are in a space currently, walking outside, in a car, in a plane, in a train, in your office, at your home, would you please acknowledge right now that your space or spaces are all contributing to the life that you've created so far? Do I get a thumbs up? Yay. And would you also acknowledge that as you are acknowledging where you are today, everywhere that you have critiqued it or judged it as not being enough, as not being great enough, as not being big enough, as not being glamorous enough, as not being tidy enough, organized enough. Oh my gosh. Colorful enough, modern enough. Oh yeah, I know there's some of you judging your spaces. They're not modern enough. Would you now be willing to let that go? And so one of the things I've acknowledged over the years is working with people's spaces. When we have people come in and they start to complain about their space, and I know if you get together with your friends and you say, oh, I wish I could do this, or I wish I could do that, could you also acknowledge when you get into this, I wish I had, like the grass is greener on the other side, you're actually already disempowering. Yes, I'm saying this, you're disempowering your capacities of creating something greater. So how many of you have gone into this point of view that in order to create this business or this life as being successful or worldwide or whatever that is, you have to have a magical space to create from? And so I'm going to let you know that the magical space to create from, you carry with you every day. You're like a turtle. Do you acknowledge that you carry your home with you everywhere you go? This is your magical vehicle, guys. This is it. And it's pretty awesome. So even when you judge your magical vehicle, I've got wrinkles, I've got gray hair, I've got a stretch mark, I've got an extra 5 pounds, I've got little love handles. For the men, I've got a hairy chest, or I don't have a hairy chest, or I've got too much facial hair, or I'm bald, or whatever that is. You're actually already disempowering from the source the massive creation that you can create from. So would you be willing to get out of your way on on judging the one space that you take with you, and it will be with you all through this lifetime. It's pretty cool. Yeah. So I'm grateful for all of you choosing to show up and actually have your bodies show up here today. And not only your bodies, but the bodies of your spaces that you live, work, and play in. So, I've got some yummy energy. So just to let you know, one of the things that I've acknowledged when I've worked with clients over the years is when I go to, so if you go to a cocktail party and there's all this sound and all these people are talking, you know, that energy, that buzz. Well, instead of me hearing the people talking, I actually hear your spaces all having a conversation with me. So while we're all here, and for all of you that are tuning in later, I have these spaces that are having conversations with me all day, all night long. And some of them say, help me, help me. Some of them say, oh my goodness, the foundation of my home has got a crack in it, or something's going on within your spaces. So acknowledge and be grateful that it's your spaces that actually reached out to me today. Yeah, very cool. And you thought it was you reaching out to this class and this connection on this Zoom. Well, it's not what you think it is, guys. And this is the gift of it, is that when we can acknowledge how aware we are with our spaces, how aware energetically we can be, and how magical we can be with everything that we create in our lives, that's when the doors of possibilities open for all of us. And so everywhere that you have one door into your space and a back door out, and you believe that that's the only way in and the only way out, I'm gonna let you know that you have so many more doors and so many doorways to enter the life that you desire. So when you judge that you only have one door, or you only have two or three, or again, when you get into the number game, guys, you're actually doing this to your life. So would you be willing to get out of the numbers? Because our bodies have billions of molecules that die off and actually regenerate every single day. So with that knowledge, know that our molecules of our spaces are also living and breathing entities. And how awesome is that? That these hear everything. They sense everything, our spaces. They know when you have had a fight. They know when you have had a moment of being in tears. They know, they hear, the walls hear everything. You've heard that term. Oh, if the walls could speak. Oh yeah, they don't need to speak. They're already communicating and saying what it is that you have judged, what you have said you wished you could have had or wished you didn't have. And when we go into the wishing, we're actually just reinstating what we keep having over and over and over again. So how many of you said, oh, it's always this way. My relationships are always this way. My business is always this way. So if we're saying the word always, we're just reinforcing that. So how many of you continuously reinforce your life? And then you look over there and you go, oh, I wish I had her life, or I wish I had his life. You're comparing. What if you could actually acknowledge that you are the creator of your life? From the moment you were born, you were the creator of your life. And so being the creator of your life, it's like going to the buffet and seeing all the possibilities of different foods. I don't know why I'm choosing food. And you have, you know, your hot food, your cold food, your desserts. You can begin at dessert and end at meat. You can begin at meat and end at dessert. You can have dessert halfway. And if you could actually acknowledge that that's the way the universe is willing to play with you, there's no rules. So how many of you have created rules in your life? I can't do this. I have to go to bed before 10 o'clock. Because if I don't get 8 hours of sleep, I'm grumpy. Do you see how we create that? I only can have client meetings between this time and this time. You're limiting your ways of receiving. So when we're creating for the future, be willing to acknowledge all the places and all the doors that you're closing for yourself. And one of the things I have to acknowledge for myself is, if you had talked to me 3 years ago that this class, Creating Conscious Spaces, was going to be translated into Dutch, French, German, Portuguese, I would have said, no way. No. It would go first. It would have gone to Spanish. My father's from Argentina. Of course I would do Spanish first. That made sense. And yet all these people from different countries reached out and said, hey, I'd like to actually play with spaces. It resonates with me and my culture, my upbringing, my way of believing how things can actually shift with spaces. And when I acknowledge that, what if going worldwide with Creating Conscious Spaces and acknowledging the people that are willing to play with their spaces and shift their lives is not actually in a set language or a set culture or a set geographical location? What if it's available for everyone? Because the energy of spaces and the energy of energy does not need translation. You get that? There's no translation with energy. Energy is all around us. So when we travel, we're actually infusing our energetic moment of wherever we're at, our moment in time right now, that is being infused into all of our spaces. So if you are choosing to create a greater life, got a pen and paper? Are you ready? Are you ready? I got to see some smiles here. Woohoo! Hands up. Woohoo! Okay. Write down the top 10 things today that you're desiring for your life going forward. So be willing to let go of the lists that you've had previously. The top 10 things, whatever that is. Get out of numbers. Get out of specifics. Go with the energy of what it is you desire. You desire a worldwide life. You desire greater connection with people around the world. You desire contributing to consciousness. You desire to co-create with your spaces. Whatever that is for you. When we say, I'm looking for a tall, dark, and handsome man with blue eyes, tattoos on his left shoulder. I mean, can you imagine when we start to go into the details of something, that you're actually cutting off your capacity to receive? It's the same for a man. I'm looking for a redhead or a blonde or tall, 5'10". And so if we put these limitations into the universe, do you see how we're now narrowing things down? And it's so funny because how many of us have been told, narrow it down, be very focused. You're all over the place. You need to focus your life. You need to create more of a direction. You don't seem to have a direction. So how many people have been told you don't have a direction? Focus. Successful people focus, don't you know? So what is success? Getting up every day, Being grateful for your body, choosing to step forward in life, not go backwards, but step forward. And every one of you that has gone into your story of, oh, I'm still here, I live with my parents, or I have my children still living at home, I want them to move out, they haven't got married. Oh, you know how we get into stories? Oh, I'm still carrying that extra 10 pounds of my baby, and my baby's now in their 20s. Do you hear how we totally cut ourselves off from just acknowledging where you are today? Remember, you are carrying your creative house or home with you everywhere you go. So you can create every single moment of every single day, no matter what. How awesome is this? How amazing. How did I get so lucky? Rashimi, Monish, I love this. Okay, so I have some questions. Have you, all of you, acknowledged the gift of your magical spaces? Up to now, have you been acknowledging them, or are you now just going, oh my God, I just woke up and I just realized I have a magical space? Magical space can be a closet. Magical space can be the inside of a car. A magical space can be your bedroom, your kitchen, your bathroom, even in the shower. That's a magical space. That's where you get to honor your body. Do you acknowledge that even if you go out for a run, if you're a jogger or a bicycler or a hiker or whatever sport you love to do, that can also be a magical space of creation? These are places and spaces that you can create from. So how many of you have woken up in the middle of the night and written down a whole bunch of ideas that just pop? Your body is relaxed. You're relaxed. You're not picking up all the other people's stories and all the other people's judgments about what's this and what's that, and you have to do this. I'm always writing notes. It's fabulous. It gives my space here the space. I don't have to hold on to anything. So all of you that like to hold things up here, all of you control freaks, would you be willing to co-create with the universe? Would you be willing to co-create with your spaces? So how many of you have made that list of 10? And if you stopped at 10, keep going. Keep going. It's a list that continuously grows. And every time you've reached one of those targets that you had put out there to the universe, acknowledge it and, oh my goodness, be so grateful for it. And as you continuously show gratitude to everything, things will start to show up and speed up like this. So it'll be like going in, placing an order, like we go to Starbucks, we place an order depending on the speed of the barista. You get your Starbucks maybe in 3 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes. But do you see how we start to co-create with our spaces and we co-create with the universe, that actually things will start to show up faster than you've ever imagined? And any of you that have had things show up and then you go, oh my God, it's here. It's finally happened. How many of you have acknowledged something and then pushed it away? Any of you that would like to actually create for something greater in your life? Yeah, I see a hand up. Just one person here. So when we acknowledge that we've created something, and then we go into this panic mode, oh my God, it's here. we are actually now asking the universe to put a brake on and slow things down. So if you've ever gone into, for me, I love cars, and I actually got to race a Ferrari. Oh my God, it was so fun. And Sonali, I know she loves cars too. I'm sure any of you out there. And I was going faster and faster every time. Oh, Juhi, did you race a car too? Yeah. Oh, you have a question? Okay, you'd raced a car. Okay, cool.
I want to.
Oh, I tell you, this is the energy of what you can create in your life going forward, guys. This is like you get to do so many loops around the race car track. So the first time you go and you're going, okay, I'm in control. And then the next time it's faster. And the next time it's even faster. And then you're really trusting that the vehicle that you're in, which is your body, is going to take you exactly where it's going to be. And the only person that slows you down is you. So when I'm in the wheel of this, or behind the wheel of this amazing vehicle, I have my foot on the brake when I require it. Otherwise, I just like pedal to the metal and let her go. So when you have the energy of willing to just, it's like jumping off the edge of a cliff and with a hand glider, or jumping out of an airplane, trust that the universe has your back. So are you willing to leap forward into your life? Our spaces will contribute to us every day. They will also tell you what's going on with your life. So how many of you have created, poo piles? I'll call them poo piles.
Okay.
Yeah. So knowing that you've created poo piles, you can also uncreate them and create these magical creations. And how many of you are trying to do life like everyone else? Because so-and-so is doing this and they look successful, so I should do exactly what they're doing. Because they must have a formula. So how many of us have gone and bought those packages, and it's like, if you do this and this and this and this, you will have the life you've always desired. Oh my goodness. Trust me. Been there, done it, bought the book, got the programs, got the certificates, all of that. And the one thing about creating conscious spaces is that it's customized for each of your spaces. It's not about me telling you how to create a life that works for me, but it might not work for you. That's bullshit. That's like you going to one of your girlfriends or one of your guy friends and someone saying, this is how you get married. This is how you have a good marriage or a good relationship. It's not how you do it. Kids, when we're born, they don't come with a manual. It's like, I'm going to wing it as a parent. I'm going to see how this works out. You get ideas from different people, but how you raise kids is the way that you raise them for you. What works for you. It's the same as business. It's the same as relationship. So are you willing to create what works for you? I mean, we could go into 20 different directions, and my team knows this. I get buzzed. Okay, so I'm going to put it out there. I've got, me too, do it all the time. Just woke up. Who just woke up? Did you just wake up to life and living, or are you just physically waking up? How many of you are finally waking up and getting out of your fog or daydream about your life, and you just go day to day? You get up, you have breakfast, you do this, then you do that, and then you maybe go to the gym, and then you have lunch, and then you and it's like, so boring. Wouldn't you like to just like jump out of bed and go, oh my God, isn't this amazing? Isn't this exciting? Isn't life amazing? So who's buzzing with this yummy energy right now? Because I'm like, woo, it's fun. Life is meant to be fun. Oh, my eyes watering, by the way. It's whatever I'm perceiving today. My eyes been watering all morning. It's pretty cool. Okay, so questions. Oh, I like this. Just woke up to a different possibility called life. Yeah, yeah. And it's yours. It's not mine, and it's not anyone else's here. It's your life. So what is it that you're choosing to create for your life going forward? And anywhere that you have determined that one business is going to create everything, one relationship is going to create everything, one space is going to create everything I desire. How many of you are willing to go and play in every space that you go to? And how many of you have determined that I don't travel anywhere? Who says that they don't travel anywhere? Okay, guess what? Did you wake up and walk from your bedroom to the bathroom this morning? Did you go from your bathroom to the kitchen? Did you go from the kitchen to the living room or to your office? Guess what? You're traveling. Ooh. So how many of you have said that to your friends or family? I never get to travel anywhere. My life's so rough. It's, oh, woe is me. Do you get that? So when we say those things, you're not actually in alignment with what your body's doing. Your body's confused, going, well, wait a minute. Didn't we just travel from the bed to the bathroom to the kitchen to the living room, the office? Didn't I get behind the wheel of a car today? Didn't I drive through traffic? Wait a minute, isn't that traveling? So when now you can say, yeah, I'm a traveler. Last week, I drove 7 hours to go to a friend's cottage. Hell yeah, I'm a traveler. Are you willing to acknowledge when we start to say, yes, I'm a traveler, then all of a sudden the world and the universe is going to start to co-create with you and go, this person likes to travel. Let's see more of that. Let's create more of that for you. And you don't know how it's going to show up. So for me, I've always loved traveling. Trains, planes, automobiles, walking, yes, walking, running, traveling, bicycling, traveling, hiking, traveling. When you are moving your bodies forward, you're actually traveling. Yay! Even if you walked backwards, you're traveling. Sideways, you're traveling. Dancing, you're traveling. Do you get that? Oh, look at all the bodies like lighting up and smiling here. How cool are you? How many of you going forward now, because you're all travelers, have a passport? Everywhere that you have not gone out and gotten yourself a passport, know that the only person stopping you is you. For 2 years, I was in a funk of not traveling. Yeah, you're over that one, right? Yeah, you're all travelers. I love that. If you get anything out of this call, know that you're all travelers, and that is so cool. So when you get together now, you're like, hey, I'm a traveler. Yeah, you're a traveler. Let's go travel. Let's go to Starbucks. Let's go travel to the latest cafe or to the latest restaurant. You're a traveler. And then start asking for more and more and more. And that's how you start to co-create with everything that you desire going forward. How many of you have assumed that you're here and that in order to get to in your universe, you're going, I got to go here. Well, what if you started to acknowledge all those steps that take you to here? Not that there's a higher or lower, but I'm just for fun. We're playing with this, okay? I have a question. How many of you are desiring to create changes with your spaces and are wondering what that's going to look like now going forward? Go for it. Ask questions. You can unmute yourself. This is playtime.
Hey,
Hi, who is this?
this is Monish.
Hi, Monish.
How are you? You're awesome, Lisa.
Well, hey, back at you. You're awesome. Hey, you're a traveler.
Yeah. Thank you for undefining it.
Oh my goodness, yes. And isn't it funny how the
Thank you.
marketing industry and travel industry does everything
Yeah,
to make us believe that we aren't successful at traveling because we haven't gone to these
yeah,
different places in the world?
absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
so what's your question?
So my question is this, oftentimes when I'm, let's say, entering into a space and I perceive, okay, something funny is going on here. Now, even though I have the awareness that, you can pull the energy from the walls or the floor or everything that doesn't move, instead of acknowledging that as a gift or a possibility, I instantly step into the space of, okay, so whose judgment is this? Where is it coming from? What's going on here? So would you like talk a little bit about that and expand me on this, please? What contribution can that be for me?
Yeah. Okay. So first of all,
Yeah.
your body has molecules, atoms,
Uh-huh.
molecules.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many billions and trillions within our bodies, okay? And within our spaces also. And can we all acknowledge that everything is breathing? So when we place a house or a building on Mother Earth, on our land, Mother Earth is breathing. We have tsunamis, we have different weather patterns, we have earthquakes, we have volcanoes. She's always moving and breathing, right? We put what we perceive to be a fixed structure on top of Mother Earth. And yet, if you notice, foundations crack, things move. Well, everything there is also breathing and moving. It's just a different energetic way of showing up. Concrete is a different strength. Wood has a totally different movement within a building, within a structure. So everything is moving and shifting. And so to acknowledge when you walk into spaces and you perceive what you call funky energy, what if the energy is just saying, oh my God, you're walking in here. Yay. Here's somebody that actually acknowledges that there's something completely different within the energy that isn't the energy of, so you're walking in with one energy like this. Got it? And there may be an
Yeah.
energy that goes like this. It's not that it's wrong. It's just a different energy. Like if you were playing an instrument, you have a violin and then you have a tuba.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a different
Mm-hmm.
vibration.
Mm-hmm.
That's what spaces are. Everywhere we go, there's a different vibration. There's a vibration in a restaurant. There's a vibration in your kitchen at home. There's a vibration in your bedroom. There's a vibration in your shower. So each room, even within your home, also has and carries a different vibration.
Wow.
So when you acknowledge, without going into, oh, it's got to be this and it's got to be this, we're already closing the doors down. What if you could just be the energy of receiving the energetic vibration of that space? And when we can go into the receiving of the energetic vibration of the space, it's like taking you as this instrument and fine-tuning you to another vibration. And you're never going to stop tuning that vibrational capacity. So the more your body travels,
Uh-huh.
and you're all travelers. So let's say you go to a restaurant for the very first time that you've never been to, or you go into a clothing store, or you're walking down a street you've never walked down. There's an energetic vibration that you haven't yet received.
Absolutely.
And so now your body's receiving it and it's going, wow, this is different. So all of you that have gone down the same street, driven the same way, taken the same train or the same, every single day for the last 5 years, and you go to bed at the same time and you eat the same food for breakfast and the same, do you get how boring that can be? When you have a whole buffet in front of you of life. So are you willing to taste all the different flavors of the universe and taste all the energetic vibrations that are gifting you? It's a gift. So I always laugh when people go, well, there's something wrong with the space because it feels different. Yeah, it feels different because you've never walked into it. Or what if the people just before you walked into their home that you've traveled to 3 or 4 or 5 times previously just had a big, huge fight?
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a vibration in the air that's got this vibration of people fighting. And so when you walk in, to have the capacity to actually know that something is different from the last time I was here, how cool is that?
Wow.
Everything is shifting, everything is moving. So every one of you that has put down certain things in certain places within your home and they've been there for the last 5 years, same photograph, same picture of the family, same artwork on the wall, are you willing to shift it up?
Yeah.
Just as quickly as you change your underwear, and hopefully you guys change your underwear every day. And for those of you that don't change your underwear every way, well, okay. It's a choice. But do you get as often as you change your underwear is as often as you can shift the energy within your spaces.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we invite new possibilities into our lives, asking for more. Are you willing to get out of your stuck old energy and move things around? Gosh, you can paint your walls. You can change your shirts, just different color shirts. Well, why aren't we willing to dress our spaces in a way that's going to contribute to joy? And changing the colors of your pillows, changing the carpets. It doesn't have to cost millions of dollars to change up the energy of your space, guys. It can be really fun. So,
I had a question.
Yes, go for it.
Can I go for it? Sorry, am I interrupting you?
No. Who's talking?
Juhi is talking here. Hi. So I had a question. You see, at times I have these visuals. I keep, my body seems to want to transport itself back to the house where I was born or where I've lived. I've just moved my geography about a year and a half back. And so the old places, even my old office, it just seems to be the place where I keep getting myself transported. I don't know how to get out of that zone. I mean, I seem to keep going back there.
Okay.
How does one get out of that?
Okay, so are you choosing to go back and recreate all the bullshit that you created before?
Somewhere, yes, that awareness came. So I kind of am.
Or would you like to stop that? Would you like to stop it?
Yes, completely.
Okay, so
yes.
Take the word back out of your vocabulary, other than that you have a back. Got it?
Yeah. That's where I have a lot of pain also.
Cool. So, Juhi, this is really cool for all of you. So everywhere that you've had and that you're aware of in this lifetime and any other lifetime, of all the spaces and places that your body's traveled in, lived in, worked in, played in, ask for all those spaces to contribute to the life that you're desiring going forward. And stop going into the wrongness, I'm getting pulled back. It's like, no, actually, they're asking to contribute to your life going forward. Woo! How cool are you?
That's
yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. That's huge.
We go into so many more tools in the Creating Conscious Spaces class that actually addresses all of that and how you can co-create with your past spaces and your current space to actually co-create for future spaces. Oh, wow. Yeah. So everywhere you've determined you're already in your happily ever after home, or if I leave this house, they'll have to take me out in a box. Guess what? The universe is going to go, no problem. We can totally give you that one. We'll take you out in a box, a nice wooden box. Do you want to do that this year, or do you want to do that within 5 years? Do you see how the universe can hear this? So always be aware of what you're putting out there, guys.
Mm.
Oh, wow. I know. Crazy. Crazy. Spaces, listen always.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Someone has a question. Go for it. Who is it?
Ramya.
Hi, Ramya.
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 Hi. Yeah. Lisa, first, before my question, I want to thank you immensely because I have been listening to your radio shows on SoundCloud, and I've been listening to them strategically. Every time I need to clear out a cupboard or do any kind of cleaning in my house, I had to rather play one of your tracks, and that would help me do it. So thank you so much. I've been waiting to say thank you.
Oh, you're beautiful. Thank you. Where do you live? Where are you?
Bangalore.
Bangalore. I haven't been there yet.
Yeah. Okay.
See?
You were going to come here last year, in fact, I think, to Bangalore, Lisa.
Oh, well, okay. So what would it take now?
Yes.
Yes.
What would it take for Kurg, where I stay, the
perhaps you
of India, for you to visit?
Okay, Ramya.
Yeah, so my question is really around, I think I live in a very beautiful campus that I love. And I know that I've sort of made it like a prison, not like a prison, but I've told myself that nothing else, nowhere else on planet Earth can be a good enough place to live as this campus.
Wow,
and sort of wedded myself to it. And when you were talking about this, what do I do I just love this place, but I don't want it to be my everything.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm grateful for this. So you're not the only one that says, oh my God, I so love my space. It's so beautiful. I've got everything just perfect. I've painted it. I've got the right this. I've got the right this. And I finally have it decorated in the way that I've always desired. Okay. So how many of you go get your hair done at a hairdresser or a barber?
I don't get a chance these days.
Okay, so when you go and get your hair done and you have it done a certain way, are you willing to shift it up and change your hairstyles? How sometimes it's long, sometimes it's short, sometimes it's this color, sometimes you add streaks to it, sometimes you color it, sometimes you don't. So it's the willingness to shift things. It's the same as jewelry. Sometimes you wear little earrings, sometimes you wear big earrings, sometimes you wear bright lipstick, so it's the same as aftershave and all the other things like perfume, aftershave. I'm talking to men and women here. So it's the willingness to shift things. So for now, what if you could just really enjoy the space that you're in? Be grateful for the space that you're in. Play with the space that you're in. So all of you that have determined that the space that you're in is perfect and it's exactly the way I desire it to be, you're actually closing the doors for other possibilities that could be even greater. And where are you not acknowledging that there could be another country, another language that might be calling you? So just for fun, how many of you have always had a place that has been talking to you, another country, another language, and your whole body just like vibrates, it gets lit up, right? So acknowledge that those spaces and places are actually inviting you It's actually energetically aligned with what it is you desire in life.
Wow.
Right now. And who knows what else you can invite. So if you had talked to me 3-4 years ago and told me that I would have gone to Paris 3 times to facilitate this class, I would have said, heck no. What, Paris? I had imagined that I could only go to Paris based on all these parameters that I had created, all these rules that I created for myself. And yet I've done this, and I continue to, and I continue to ask, where else is my business and my class desiring to go that's going to create greater? And it's not about me. It's actually got, it's got a life of its own. Our spaces have a life of their own. Our business is a space. Our bodies are our home base. And when you're willing to give up control, like really take, like totally control freaks of magnitude. I know every one of us has always been controlling how we do things, controlling how we get dressed, controlling our spaces. And when we're willing to like let it go and actually let the universe show you, if you open this door, guess what? You're going to be able to go here and here and here. And so when we've determined, oh my God, it's so magical, this is the space, I love it, just acknowledge that you're enjoying it. It's like, for me, I love downhill skiing in the snow. And there are so many ski hills where I live. So I haven't determined that there's one specific ski resort that I will go to. I'm open to trying every one of them and keep asking for more. And when you ski in powder, it's like in that moment, you're at one with the mountain and the powder and this like this wonderful energy, just sort of, it's exciting. The sun's out. And in that moment, appreciate, be grateful for what you have in that moment. So would you be all willing to be grateful for the space that you're in this moment? Whether you have a pile of things or not, whether you have a to-do list or not, whether you have all these things that you have to get done. Because guess what? At the end of your life, are you going to say, oh, I wish that I had kept my bedroom tidier, and I wish that I had kept my drawers tidier and my cupboards tidier? No. Enjoy your spaces. They're meant to be lived in. They're meant to be loved. They're meant to contribute to the life you desire. This isn't about judging whether your shelves in your closet are perfectly set up, that your kitchen drawers, everything's perfectly set up, that your filing system in your office is perfectly set up, color coordinated, with labels and everything, because I know lots of you have labelers out there. I know. So would you be willing to just be present with what's required and what's desired today? So someone has asked about after someone's died within, I'm not sure if they died within the home or not, and there's lots of things falling. So would you just be willing to acknowledge that just because someone's body chooses to die, it doesn't mean they can't communicate with you? Oh yeah. Yeah, they can. They can communicate with you. And sometimes you're just not willing to listen. So they might be causing a little disruption in your space until you're willing to actually listen. Cool. Wow. Yeah. So are you willing to acknowledge all the people in your life that have passed over that are trying to connect with you and not go into the wrongness of it and go into a panic? Okay, we have a hand up. Hi.
Hi. Hi, Lisa.
Hi. Okay. Nivedita? Nivedita.
Yes, Nivedita.
Hey.
Nivedita, yeah. Hi. Actually, this call has come at the right time for me. Because I am in the process of decluttering my house, and also I have stepped up and chosen to step out of my parents' house to move into another space.
Ooh.
And I'm actually looking out for spaces. I know.
Okay, cool.
Uh, yeah. So I just wanted to know, like, could you share some questions that I could ask when I'm going out to look for spaces, like how they can
Okay, I'm gonna
contribute
stop
to
you right
me?
now.
And yeah,
Okay, this reality has you find a realtor or an agent to look for spaces. And
yeah,
right now, you're probably already determining what part of town you'd like to live in. There's, see, we're
yes.
closing the door. And what's your price point and blah, 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 blah. So instead of doing that, what if you could ask for those spaces that are inviting you and what you're choosing to create in your life going forward to step forward and present themselves to you?
Wow.
This is how I create classes. This is how I create with spaces around the world. I don't research the countries that I go to. People are always amazed. You must have done some research. Not really, no. Well, how do you know where you're going? Well, I listen to the spaces. They talk to me. What? Don't you make a plan? No. And you can ask Liga. She's on my team. I probably drive everybody up the wall because they're all like, well, where's the class? I don't know yet. It's going to be in a magical space. It'll show up.
Wow.
And that's how I've been playing. I'm on my way to Brussels in 5 days, in Belgium, and then after that to Austria. And it's sort of like, Lisa, well, what's going on? We need to know. No, you don't need to know. It'll show up. And then boom, I just sort of step away and go, give me an hour, give me a couple hours here, and let me just have a conversation with different spaces, and then boom. And sometimes it might not be a few hours, it might be a few days. And I might have determined in my mind that this was a space, and then I go, okay, wait a minute, is this me saying that this is the space for the class, or am I buying everybody else's points of view about their point of view about this is where the class is going to be? And as soon as I acknowledge that I bought in everybody else's points of view, then I step away and go, wait a minute. And then I have a conversation again, and then something magical shows up. And it might not be in the exact location that the other people had. So this is the cool thing, guys. When you're traveling, how many of you are willing to just let it be, have no plan? Aren't those sometimes the most magical trips? The ones that you've had no plan. You've got a suitcase, or you travel with a backpack to a country, and those trips, you still remember them because those are the trips that you just went and you followed the energy. You showed up at a restaurant, you met somebody interesting, you talked to them, and then you ended up traveling with them. And you're still friends today. This is how we can follow the energy for our spaces and for our spaces to contribute to our businesses. So good on you to choose now that this is your time to move from your parents' home. So what if actually there's a space out there that's going, hey, over here, not here, because you're talking to something over here and you're determining that there's something over here. But meantime, there's another space going, hey, no, over here. You're not listening to me. I'm giving you a whisper and you keep ignoring it. And maybe there's people in your life that say, have you looked over here? And you go, no, I'm going to go over here. This is where I'm going to be. And all your friends are going, oh, and then you have one friend going, yeah, but I heard about blah, 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 blah. And that space is talking to them that's actually trying to connect to you. It never shows up the way you imagined. Those are the whispers.
Cool. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Any other questions before I have to wrap it up? This is your time. We have 30 people here today. Woohoo! I look at all these people like sitting there, waiting. So everywhere you're waiting for the answers, waiting for this skies to open up. What if you could just choose you and everything that you've ever desired for your life and living, with and through your spaces? So changing the world one space at a time is the tagline for creating conscious spaces. And when we say changing the world one space at a time, it's not only the space of where you're sitting right now. It could be the space of a drawer, the space of a cupboard, the space of your car, the space of your purse, or the space of your briefcase. Oh, look at the faces on when I said purse. Yeah. When's the last time you emptied your purse? When we create space, and you talked about decluttering, when you create space, you're actually opening up the possibilities of something greater coming into your life. When you fill your spaces up with stuff, you're actually holding that energy of non-creation for something greater. You can be creating more junk, more BS, more stinky, smelly things by holding on to old stuff, or you can start to get rid of it. It's like the best weight loss program ever. Okay,
Lisa, when is the class? Yeah.
Oh, when is the class here?
Yes.
Well, I'm playing with the ladies in India right now and determining when. So for those of you that would love to come to the next class or classes in India, we do intro and an advanced class. And soon there will be a facilitators class. Woo!
Wow.
Yeah. So if you have connected with Liga and she has your email, which would be Liga's on the team, and if you're not friends of Liga's on Facebook or have reached out and sent me a private message or whatever, she'll put the link actually to the website too, because you could sign up for some freebies on the website. Yeah, so please do reach out, because India is definitely a wonderfully magical space and place for me to go play. And
wonderful. We look forward to playing with you. I've just put my email ID here in the chat because we just got the information about this class called today. So I'm just wondering what's the way forward. Okay, lovely. Would love to play with you when you're here. Thank you so much.
And what part of the universe are you, like in India?
New Delhi.
Oh, I love New Delhi. Yes. Agra, New Delhi, Chandigarh, Mumbai, but not Bangalore yet. So,
well,
and I hear Goa is supposed to be lovely too. Oh, there's so many cool spaces. Okay, I just wanted, we've got a question here. So, Sneha, hi, just unmute yourself. Can you unmute yourself?
Yes.
Hold on. Unmute, and then we can hear your question. Okay, nope, you muted again. Hold on. Unmute.
Great. Thank you, Lisa. I had this thing coming up again and again, and it was new for me, that I went to this vision quest kind of thing. And the question I took along with me is, what am I here to facilitate for the earth and on the earth? And I am doing some work around building medicine wheels and, returning the blood back, like certain things. But what came up for me this time was racial healing. And that was completely out of the blue. I've never thought about me being a facilitator for racial healing ever. And I've had this constant pull towards wanting to travel to different countries, but not being able to and holding myself back. So I'm thinking, I see a connection there. So could you help me, detect it and just blast them out of existence, please?
Well, okay. So the cool thing is that already you are aware of what is being. So did you hear her whispers? So wherever you choose, whatever space, whatever you choose to go to in order to find yourself. Do you get this? She's gone outside of herself to find what was already within. So how many of you have gone outside of yourself to find out what was already within? And so everywhere you go and to doubt, can I do this? I'm not sure. I'm not sure why. So those are, the why question isn't a generative question. Get out of like the why and just jump, leap.
Yep.
Leap forward. And so everywhere you're looking for permission to leap forward, I'm going to say, I'm giving you permission. Go. Leap. Don't wait, create. Don't wait, create. And there is no how, there is no why, it's just start. See, life is not about doing it perfectly. Life is about actually experiencing every moment of every day to the fullest and getting out of your comfort zone. So all of you that are in your comfort zone, get out of it. Living in that uncomfortable way is way more fun. It's way cooler. And for me, I've noticed as soon as I got into the uncomfortable zone, that's when I was willing to actually go, hell yeah, and commit to the life that I desire. And I'm not sure how it's going to show up. No, every day it's a different day. It's a different group of people. It's a different language. It's a different experience. I'm willing to play big. And my big isn't going to be your big. Your big is something totally different. So I encourage each of you to acknowledge that you're all individual. You're all creators, every one of you. And as soon as you start to judge how I do it, just stop. Give yourself the 2-minute pity party and then get out there and do it. Because if you want to sit around for 2 or 3 days or 2 or 3 months and whine about your life and when we do that, you're creating more of that. And I would rather put my creative energy and my creative juices into things that are going to light me up, that are fun and playful, and get out of the whining and the sitting in the quagmire of everybody else's junk. Because there are those people in our lives that love to pull us down. Just go, cool. Love how you're functioning. You're awesome. I'm actually got to go and do blah, blah, blah. But I'll talk to you soon. Got to run. Oh, I got a call. Oh, sorry. Got to run. So you have this creative thing that's popped up for you. Follow it until it no longer is contributing to what it is you desire, and be willing to let it go and move on to something else.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. The 2-minute pity party phrase. I know. I love that one too. Yeah. And if you ever go into your 2-minute pity party, one of the things I do is I have 1 or 2 friends and I go, okay, I'm having my moment. And I might say, can you just give me 2 minutes where I'm just going to rant? And they're like, okay. And they don't have a point of view. And then at the end I go, okay, I'm over it. And they're going, okay, cool. Okay, so now what are you willing to create in life? So it's done. It's like a Band-Aid. You can pull it off slowly. That's not fun. Or you can just rip it.
Yeah.
And you guys are wondering what creating conscious spaces classes are like? It's not what you imagine, guys. It's like the spaces are like an X-ray into your life. So when you're creating shit, it will show up in your spaces. And so when we can unravel our shit and start to co-create and change things within our spaces, because we ask you to start shifting things in your spaces, whether that is whether you actually physically move or you physically shift things within your space that leads to you moving to another country, whatever that is for you. Just trust that if you're really choosing to create a life that you've always desired, you've got to be willing to leap. This class is for those that are choosing to live life fearlessly, without fear, which we know is really not real. Living life of joy, abundance, thriving in life. That's what life is all about. Oh my goodness. I'm so grateful for you. So infiniteenergies.ca is the website. Liga's going to put it in the chat. For those of you that are on your computers, you can see the chat. You can send me a private message. Stay tuned. I will be for sure coming to India and any other countries that continuously keep pulling and calling. I thought I saw somebody with their hand up, but perhaps they've lowered it. Maybe we've actually created space for them instead of them going into the story. Maybe you got over your pity party. So, and feel free on the website to, we have newsletters, we have free gifts and fun things that go out and create the future you know each one of you absolutely can create for you. Know that you are all gifted in every possible way, and there is no one like you out there in the universe. So go out and create. No more sitting around, no more waiting for the answers. You got it. It's right there. And your spaces are just that extension and reflection of everything that you have created. Oh, adore you too, Hyan, all the way from China. Woohoo! And all over India and any other yummy spaces. I think we have, oh, Denise. Hi, Denise. Oh, we're going to see you soon. And you changed your hair, did you? Yay, look at you. She's already changing things up. Uh-oh. Awesome. Okay, you guys, I'm adoring you. And anything else that we need to share, Liga, with the group? Yes, no? Okay. This was fun. We'll talk soon. And yeah, send us, for those that want to see me in Bangalore, send us your details. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, stop.